What's up, everyone? This is Chris, your local wheeler here at Wheeler Dealer in Boise, Idaho. Got another awesome truck to share with you guys. This is actually one that we had a customer bring in to us a while back, and I ended up purchasing this to add to my personal collection. And we have recently decided to expand the business, so I'm going to be letting this go. If you're interested in it, I'm just going to say here right at the very front of the video, get in contact with us quick. These don't last long, and I always get these comments of people saying, "Oh man, I wish I had been able to get a hold of you." If this is something you're interested in, please contact us anytime, and we'd be happy to go over anything with you. We do work with a lot of people out of state. We can ship, do live video calls, have inspections done for you, whatever you need. So don't wait. If it's something that you're interested in, like I said, don't wait. There is a lot done to this 4Runner. So this is a 1997 Toyota 4Runner. It's a 5-speed manual, 4-wheel drive, the 3.4 liter V6. There's a lot done to it. So I did print out something, so if you hear me reading off a piece of paper, it's just honestly there's so much done that there's no way I could remember every little thing. So I am going to be going off of a piece of paper, kind of going over the whole truck here. So we're going to start off here with the exterior of the car. So all of the exterior bulbs have been converted into LED. The front headlights are the newer 3rd gen style, the glass housing. They have mini H1 projector retrofits in them. Really nice. Definitely don't have to struggle with the headlights being too dim to be able to see anything. I'm sorry, it's been raining here all day, so but the bulbs in those are 50 watt 55K HIDs. The corners are cleared out. The front bumper lights are cleared. The turn signal wiring has been moved into the headlamp corners, so the bumper lights are now running lights. So these are your turn signals here up on the front, and then these ones down here are now running lights. The front bumper here, and as you can tell, there's a decent sized intercooler in there, but the front bumper has been modified to fit that, so there's no more front plate mount there. Moving along into the back here, like I said, all the lights are now LEDs. The rear lift gate has been debadged. These rigid 20641 lights here in the bumper, these are now the reverse lights. It's got some rally armor mud flaps on it. Really nice look to it. Depot tail lights, really super nice looking tail lights. The exterior of the truck is, I mean, for a 97, but for any of these 4Runners, is really nice, super clean. Some hood release pins on the front. I don't know if you can really see it from out here, but I'll roll the window down here in a second. In the back here, behind this window, there's a cage that's actually welded in. It's got 2 little cutouts, so meant for hauling dogs, so your dog you can roll the window down and have your dog stick their head out the window. But really overall, the exterior is super nice. It's got some FJ Cruiser wheels on it. Really good looking wheels. And those are wrapped around, or have some Michelin Defender tires. They're 265 70/17s. Great tread left on them. Plenty of life. They look really good. Up here in the front, we've got some SPC upper control arms. Let the camera focus there. SPC upper control arms. It's got ADCO sway bars in the front and the rear, just larger sway bars that really stiffen the ride up a lot, not as much body roll. Got some spider tracks, 1.5-inch wheel spacers back there. I don't know if I can get that in there. Spider tracks wheel spacers. The front brakes here are the 13WL brakes. They're from a Tundra. Big benefit of doing that on these first gen Tacomas and third gen 4Runners. Number one, they're fairly bolt-in. You'd have to trim some of the dust shield to make them fit, but they add a ton of braking surface, so much larger rotor, much larger caliper, much better heat dissipation. Got some power slot rotors with some Hawk brake pads. Energy suspension, power steering rack bushings. It's another big thing on these. The power steering bushings, so the actual bushings that hold the rack to the frame of the truck, they have a lot of play in them, so you know, a really common thing is to put these poly bushings in there, which is a nice upgrade. It also has energy suspension full body mounts, so all the body mounts have been changed to that same poly bushings. Energy suspension panhard bar bushings, and then energy suspension rear control arm bushings on the upper and the lower. So you can see those right there. The rear struts are Bilsteins. They're meant for a Toyota Tundra, just to kind of stiffen it up a little bit. And then in the front here, we've got the, in the rears, we got the Old Man Emu 2906 rear springs. And then in the front, these are Bilstein 6112 coilovers here. See if we can get a good view in there. So decent suspension setup. That's, you know, it's not lifted very much higher than stock, but really meant to handle on the road very well, and also be something that you could definitely take off-roading as well comfortably. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything here on the outside. The rear brake pads and shoes are OEM replacement. New rear axle bearings and the seals. Got some strong arm lift gate struts back here. We'll go over that. It's got new coolant hoses, thermostat, Denso plugs, NGK wires. The motor and transmission have been fairly modified, and I'm going to go over that here in just a second. But the interior of the car, really clean, super clean. Everything works, all the windows, door locks. One of the kind of cool things that they did, this always bugs me, when you have the window down and the doors are unlocked, and you put your arm, I know this is petty, but when you put your arm up on here, it always pushes this lock down. It's just a nuisance to push that lock down. So they modified this to where this is unlocked, so the unlocked position is barely up, so you can put your arm there and not lock the door. Like I said, I know it's not crazy, but kind of a nice modification to have. You can see here, got a couple of gauges here on the pillar. See if it'll focus here. Camera's not going to focus, but this upper one here is oil pressure. This lower one here is water temperature. Sorry about that, camera cut out. Right here we got some Perrin gauge mounts here on the steering column. Got a AEM air fuel ratio gauge, and then an boost gauge here. Stock dash, everything works. So you guys can see the truck's sitting right at 307,191 or 151,000 miles. 307,000 miles. 5-speed 4-wheel drive. Let's go into that a little bit here. The transmission mount in here is a 4X Innovations trans mount. It's got a Marlin Crawler 1200 pound clutch kit, Marlin Crawler flywheel, Marlin Crawler steel clutch lines, and also a Marlin Crawler short throw shifter. And as far as the transmission goes, it's running Redline MT, some good fluid inside of there as well. I said, I'm sorry if I'm pausing a little bit. I'm trying to read to make sure I'm not missing anything too much here. As far as the inside goes, like I said, it's super clean on the inside. No stains, no smells. You know, it is meant for hauling dogs and being kind of a off-road capable camping truck, but definitely taken care of. Got a nice Kenwood doubled in deck in here. The speakers in here, let me see, not 100% sure if the door speakers are stock. They may be stock. They sound great. It does have a subwoofer underneath the front seat here. Nice little compact sub. I don't know if you guys can see that in there. Sounds really good. It doesn't take up any of the storage space of the truck, which is nice. Let's see. I just want to go over the interior here really quickly. Let you guys see. You can see that cage in the back there. I really like that because, like I said, you know, my dog can sit back there and I can roll that window down and I don't have to worry about him either falling or jumping out of the car, but he can still stick his head through those holes back there. You know, I got a 130-pound dog, so pretty much anybody's dog's going to be able to fit their head through there. But yeah, let's go take a look here in the hood, underneath the hood, and talk about that real quick. So all of the engine modifications were done about 30,000 miles ago. Sorry, it's a little difficult to do with one hand. So like I said, this has a 5VZFE, which is a 3.4 liter V6 motor. Really well-known motor with Toyota. Really stout. The system here is running on 6.5 pounds of boost. It's a CX Racing Tacoma hot side manifold kit, which is really cleanly installed. All of the exhaust here in the engine bay, as well as the turbo, is all wrapped. Really clean look to it. Nice custom can here, all AN lines. Some vibrant AN lines on it. Really clean install. Looks, I mean, it looks really good. Like I said, the guy brought this in to us for us to sell for him, and I ended up looking at it and driving it and buying it for myself. So I see a ton of these too, so I think it says a little something, and when I end up picking one up to put in my personal collection that I am not that I didn't build. Let me go over some of this stuff here. So this setup, it's going to reach full boost at 2,700 RPM. Depending on driving style, you can see boost as early as about 1,400 RPM. In boost, at light throttle, it's going to be running about 14-ish on the AFR. And then at wide open throttle, you're looking at about 12.5. So really safe setup here. Really clean fuel delivery system that you know, isn't going to pre-detonate. It doesn't ping. There's no knocking to it. It runs really well. There's no check engine lights. Everything works on it, and I can attest to this as well. It gets about 24 miles a gallon on the highway, about 19 driving around town. So really good on gas. It's a fun car to drive. As far as the engine, you know, like I said, I've driven this thing all over. Never seen the temperature get above 200, 205. Like I said, no pinging, no detonating. So it's got the CX Racing Turbo Hot Pipe Kit. It's modified to use a V-band blow-off valve. It's got the Comp CT 4. It's a 5558 triple ball bearing turbo. Spools up really nice, sounds great. It's got a Teal 38mm V-band wastegate with a Teal 50mm Q blow-off valve. So really good setup. It's loud. It's not obnoxious, but it's loud. Sounds really good. custom intercooler piping here, plenty of different types of clamps and elbows and all the silicones and stuff. But as you can see, that intercooler tucks up inside of here really nice. It does retain everything, so it still has AC, heater, everything works in there. It's all of the heat wrap too. It's a DEI titanium heat wrap. The wastegate is routed back into the exhaust just prior to the PCV scavenging insert. So really clean setup. I mean, it just super clean, really dependable. It's not something that's going to blow up. It's got a 10 AN bung welded into the oil pan and 10 AN black braided oil return line, 48 inches of 3N oil feed line. The other thing here that really helps out with this type of a setup, oh, it's over here actually. We've got the Aem Methanol Injection. It is currently running, I don't know if you guys can see it down there. Sorry, it's kind of difficult to make my camera focus on stuff. There you go. It's run on the smallest nozzle using washer fluid in the OEM reservoir. So this reservoir here for the windshield washer fluid is actually ported into that. Windshield washer fluid is a certain percentage of, depending on what type of fluid and what temperature fluid you get, is actually mostly methanol. So it comes on at 1 psi and is full at 4 psi. So really safe. Like I said, the air fuel ratios are really clean, super easy, and nothing crazy. The nice thing about these this generation and these motors and the ECU that these cars run is that these came with the option from the factory to be supercharged. So running low boost, and those superchargers typically put out between 4 and 7 psi. So the stock tuning is more than capable of handling that boost. Let's see. I think that pretty much covers, got a nice little intake setup here. But really, just like I said, what kind of blew me away was just how clean the install was, how functional everything is, and the fact that it was done safely. It's not something that's putting out crazy amounts of boost. It's very drivable, gets great fuel mileage. It's dependable. It's a it's a good 3.4 motor that'll run forever and doesn't have any issues. It does have a full 3-inch stainless exhaust. It's going to dump right out here. Kind of the only thing as far as what is on the car that would really give it away that it's modified. When you look at the car just driving down the road, you wouldn't really think that this thing is putting out the type of boost that it is, and until you hear that blow off valve. It's got a MagnaFlow 12219 muffler with a Vibrant 1142 resonator. Got a G-Ready magnetic oil drain plug. Like I said, it's got a couple of things done in here too. I mentioned earlier, new coolant lines, Denso plugs, NGK wires, Mobil 1 synthetic in all the gearboxes. It's just really well taken care of. You can tell that the gentleman that built this knew what he was doing, didn't cut corners on it, and really made sure that he could daily drive this. So we'll go ahead and take a look back here in the back. A couple of other things that are pretty cool about it too. So the clutch neutral safety switch has been bypassed. It does have a Viper alarm system with remote start. So I'm going to go ahead and just fire it up right now. Take a quick look here. Gauges are working. Water temp gauge, oil pressure gauge. I apologize for the camera, but everything on the car is working. None of this stuff is going to turn on until I put my key in, which I'll go ahead and put that in here now. Actually, I'm not going to do that because my phone will connect to the Bluetooth. So I'm taking a look here in the back. I'm going to roll the back window down. So pretty cool setup, and like I said, I got a 130-pound dog that just loves to hang his head out the window. So it's been really nice to have this where I can roll the window down and I don't have to worry about him getting excited at a stoplight because he saw somebody else. And it's welded in here, so it's not something that he's just going to push out. Really clean job on the weld too. You know, they cut through the weather stripping here and then welded it and then pulled the weather stripping around it. Liftgate's still fully functional. Pull inside of the cab here has got WeatherTech floor mats on it. Like I said, you know, it's been used, but it's been well taken care of. You know, it does have some signs that it's from 1997, but been really well cared for and clean. Take a look here in the back. Not exactly sure what year these seats are from. I'm going to go ahead and guess like a 04 or 05. Swapped over into here, but nice seats. Like I said, there's no stains or anything on the seats. They're clean. There's no funny smells in here. WeatherTech mats everywhere. Just so you guys can hear the motor running. A good old 3.4, man. I mean, there's a reason these are popular. So it runs flawless. I put a couple thousand miles on it myself. Zero issues, you know. I dailied this car for a while. And to be honest with you guys, like I said, if you're interested in it, don't wait. If a couple of my other projects sell, or a couple other of my personal rigs sell, this will definitely be one that I'll be keeping for myself. So until then, I'm gonna keep it up for sale, but we'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. But anyways, guys, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. This is definitely one of the cooler builds that we've had on the lot. I said AC, heater, everything works in the car. Power windows, power locks, remote start. It's got an alarm system. Yeah, feel free to contact us anytime. You can find us online, localwheeler.com. You can contact us by phone. It's area code 208-336-1234. Come down and see us. We're at 10250 West Fairview Avenue in Boise, Idaho. There you go, guys. This is definitely one of those unicorns that was done correctly. Super clean truck. Really, really nice. Not very often that I come across these that are built like this. Anyways, guys, take it easy. Have a good one. We'll be back with some more unicorns.